Okay, so Nick Shirley, I don't know if you guys know the name, but you should. You remember the thing that went viral, this video of this YouTuber or streamer or influencer or whatever Nick Shirley is, going to daycares in Minnesota, right? And then saying, "Oh my God, I uncovered fraud, all of this. Oh my God, this fraud, fraud, fraud." I don't know if you guys remember that. And so it went viral, and every single like right-wing streamer, right-wing news organization or whatever, he is uncovering fraud. He's uncovering, no one has been talking about this. No one has been talking about this. So first, before I play you what happened, let me just show you a couple of the headlines, okay? So this is from the New York Times. This is in the New York Times from back in November. Now, supposedly this is over Christmas, this is over the holidays, late December. No one was covering fraud in Minnesota. But this was from the 29th of November, I believe, or the 28th of November from the New York Times, how fraud swamped Minnesota's social services system on Tim Walz's watch. Okay, so they reported prosecutors say members of the Somali diaspora, a group with growing political power, were largely responsible. President Trump has drawn national attention to the scandal amid his crackdown on immigration. Okay, so it was reported on then. It has been reported on before. They are trying to attach it to Tim Walz, the current governor, but the investigation has been going on even before Tim Walz was governor, okay? So I just like to give you some context. And even back then, just to show you, there were streamers who were reporting on this and how it affected Tim Walz. It was not a story that nobody was choosing to report on. Here it is.
Is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz putting Somalis ahead of Americans? That's the question a lot of people are suddenly asking. A new article from the New York Times has people in Walz's own state turning against him. According to the piece,
that's the piece right there that was in the New York Times. Okay, so we have that. So Nick Shirley goes to Minnesota with a microphone again, and this is a problem. I love certain things about independent media, independent journalists, but this is the thing: anybody can try to pretend that they are. Anyway, Nick Shirley goes there, and I'll show you some of it. This is from a report, him with a microphone going there.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you?
This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Back at a daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community, was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance. In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside, and there should be a way for somebody to actually be able to call that number and somebody be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
All right, so blacked out doors and locked doors or whatever he's saying. First of all, daycares do that for kids' safety. Of course, the doors should be locked to any daycare center, considering the environment that we're in now and the proliferation of guns and people who have mental health issues. Okay, so that's it. So Nick Shirley obviously is a kid and is not very bright. And I mean, I hate saying that, but I have the evidence to show to you. But this all blew up. I'll show you the evidence, but first, this all blew up because people put it out there. They promoted it. The right-wing extremists were like, "Oh my God, look at what this guy uncovered." One of them even saying that he deserved a Pulitzer or something like that. So check it out. This is from the interview from Nick Shirley about how this particular video of his went viral and has almost as many views as Mr. Beast, who is, I think, the #1 streamer in the world. Watch.
My video on the expose of the fraud in Minnesota is the most viewed video ever by a creator, longer than 10 minutes, than anybody other than the name of Mr. Beast. Altogether, it did around 500 million views.
Who do you think were the main people who signal boosted the video and brought it into that true viral orbit?
Elon Musk, who shared the video. J.D. Vance, he shared the video. You had the Attorney General. Well, she actually didn't share it. She reacted to the video a few days later. Literally, quite frankly, every account on X saw that video instantaneously. Health and Human Services, they froze all funding to childcare inside of Minnesota. And then they're asking for businesses to prove that they are legit businesses before they give tax dollars to these businesses that are not really businesses.
As far as that main center that you visited, Quality Learning, AKA Quality Learning Center.
Yeah.
Was there ever any kids there in the first place?
No. So that daycare center, it's been operating fraudulently. It's actually had over 90 violations over the past few years. And the day that I went there at 11 a.m. Their operating hours are from 2 to 10 p.m., they're now saying. And that's actually not legal.
So you said you went there at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
And their operating hours are between 2 and 10 p.m.?
Allegedly.
But if that is true, would it have made sense that you didn't see any kids there?
Yeah, it would have made sense if I didn't see children there. Either way, whether I was there when kids were supposed to be there or not, why are all the windows boarded up? Or why are all the windows blacked out? Why is there no phone number that leads to anywhere? These businesses are supposed to be operating to serve children. People should be able to check in their their children into these daycares. It's literally impossible.
Did you see some of the footage released by CBS Minnesota affiliate station that showed kids entering and exiting the facility?
Yeah, the one on the ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that one received over $1 million. It's licensed for 40 children. CBS, I believe, they go in there the day after I had posted my video. Obviously, they're going to have children there when they're getting all this heat.
Okay, so look, at the operating hours, let me just say this. A couple of things. The operating hours could be when they operate for parents to come visit. I don't know, like from 2 to 10. Maybe it is a daycare center where, because people, have a number of different jobs and it's late or whatever. I'm just saying. And if you go there over the holidays, the operating hours may be different because maybe people's kids are not in school because who knows, all right? But maybe different for Somalians. But I don't know how the schedule works. Okay, that's one thing. To have blacked out windows, I think maybe perhaps for safety for kids would not be unusual for me. So I'm not saying that nothing is going on at those facilities, and I'm going to give you a fact check and update on it. But because of this and all of this going viral, that's when reportedly the Justice Department and Kristi Noem and others sent more federal agents into Minnesota to check up on this fraud. And we know now that the increased presence in those agents perhaps put more people who eventually came into contact with Miss Good, with Renee Nicole Good. And so would this have happened if it had not been from that report? I don't know. I can't say that, but it just says that there have been a culmination of events, starting with that viral report, that have led to some pretty bad violence and things happening in Minnesota. Now, this guy is, as I said, Nick Shirley. This is like a conservative hero that they say should get a prize or some sort of Pulitzer for this. It's a lie because it had been reported on, and as I said, The Guardian did some reporting on him as well. If we can put up the Guardian report. The Guardian did some reporting on him. It says, behind the Somali daycare panic is a mother and son duo angling to be top MAGA influencers. Nick and Brooke Shirley have for years published conspiracy-minded takes on hot-button right-wing issues. So again, another grift. And Nick Shirley, just the evidence that he is not so bright. This is his interview, not understanding what certain words are. Here it is.
Who do you think are the 3 most benevolent billionaires?
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
Just well-intentioned, positive billionaires who you think are creating, net positive societal progress.
Trump, our president.
What do you mean by Trump is a benevolent billionaire? Check out Trump's charity and what he gives to charity, or what he did before he was president of the United States. Benevolence? I don't think so. But I mean, am I wrong? But benevolent is not such a, high SAT word. High scoring SAT word. I don't know. Just me, maybe. Okay, so then again, Nick Shirley on his interview, where he talks about he's mad with the interviewer here from Channel 5 because he doesn't think that he stood up enough for Charlie Kirk. Here it is.
Asking how do you gain credibility and trust? Well, you say a fact for a fact.
And the fact is that the first thing I think of when I think
And the
of
fact
Somalia
is, what are
is
Somalis
Captain
known
Phillips.
for? Pirating.
Well, that's in Somalia. There's no pirates in America.
Who's stealing all the money in
It's not
Minnesota?
the same as a pirate.
That is piracy. So how do you gain more trust? Well, don't be afraid to say a fact or an opinion.
Even
when
if
you
I know that I'm dumb.
Yes. By not saying anything about the death of Charlie Kirk as well, I thought that was pretty messed up. In a way, he's somebody just like me and you who was making videos, putting it on the internet, and then people literally killed him. But I thought that was kind of messed up of you to not publicly denounce what happened to Charlie Kirk.
I did.
I never saw anything on Instagram.
What am I supposed to say?
You never shared anything.
I interviewed the guy who was debating him while it happened. And I mentioned a bunch of times that it was horrible and it represented like one of the worst pivots in American politics ever.
And I didn't even watch the interview because I didn't want to watch that.
Well, you should watch it.
I don't want to.
Why? It's historically relevant.
It is historically relevant. I did lose respect for you when it felt like you went silent.
Well, you should watch the video because I say some stuff in it.
Okay, cool.
These people are really not smart. I don't even hate to say it. Come on, man. Piracy. Pirates and piracy. Okay, there is a connection, but not in the way Nick Shirley thinks. It's like, stealing from people. That's when it's like video piracy or when people were stealing, songs or whatever back in the day, and the recording labels and artists were not getting paid for it. And they said, that it was about piracy, or people were making illegal videos from movies, piracy or whatever, but not in the way that this guy is talking about it. Not very bright. And I don't know about the historical relevance of that interview, but if you're going to criticize someone for their words or not saying something that you say they didn't say, and then they say, hey, look, here's the evidence of what I said, and you said, I don't want to watch it. And it's like, well, how are you going to criticize or comment on it if you don't want to watch it? It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. None of it makes sense. The thing is that this is someone that they're saying is a hero. A hero? And maybe I don't know what he did or did not uncover. But the whole idea that he uncovered some huge fraud is not true at all. These are the facts on the reporting. So this is reporting from CBS in Minnesota and others, okay, the Minnesota Star Tribune. These are the facts on what has happened, right? That there has been little factual basis for Shirley's claims that daycare centers were claiming federal funding without caring for any children. More than 90 people in Minnesota have been charged since 2002 in this $250 million COVID relief fraud scheme, which involves a nonprofit that falsely claimed to provide meals to children. And a federal prosecutor estimated that $9 billion or more in federal funds across 14 states, state programs, may have been stolen in 2018. So this has been going on since 2018. And it has been reported on since 2018. It has been investigated since 2018. But no fraud charges have been filed against the daycare centers featured by Shirley. Those state records show that some had code violations that were unrelated to fraud. So he didn't really uncover anything. He gave right-wing extremists and conspiracy theorists and some folks who are in the administration, he gave them some fodder for a story that went viral that was not true or that was not contextualized properly. But that's where we are in this media environment. And that's why people don't trust mainstream news organizations, or they shouldn't trust these crazy right-wing organizations that are not really news. It's just propaganda. So careful who you get your information from. But conservatives, not just some conservatives, conservatives, let's put it that way. They are doubling and tripling down on this, on the narrative about what happened in Minnesota as it involves the assassination of Renee Nicole Good, doubling down on lies and conspiracy theories. And from that, you get nothing. You get more division. You get more chaos. You get more people operating on conspiracies, the QAnoners, syndrome. And that's what's happening here. So, Nick Shirley, do your thing by all means, but I think there should be at least some standard of truth and proof if you're going to post things on certain platforms and people are going to believe it. It's interesting that some of the algorithms push this stuff out, and some of the AI monitors who are the AI, whatever assets that are monitoring these particular sites, they will allow this to go through and this to happen, but things that are, and to be promoted and platformed, but things that are centrist and left, they restrict or take down or demonetize. What is going on here? Not a lot of truth to anything that Nick Shirley reported, and yet and still it is believed and allowed to be out there without even the caveat or a warning or a statement saying what is actually true. Come on, MAGA. Come on, Republicans. Do better. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.